Oh no, I only have a few dollars. What could I do? I need some half-baked ideas to get my show back. Okay, look online and... Hey, Phineas and Ferb. Those guys are smart. Hit by... and... Oh, they're here. Phineas and Ferb is one of the best kid shows ever. It was based on a simple plot structure, which sounds boring to anyone over the age of 11, but seeing Phineas saying, "I know what we're gonna do today," and then starting the invention as Perry goes to stop Doofenshmirtz, then Candace rushing to their mom, and then finally Perry stops Doofenshmirtz, which in turn gets rid of the invention, is way too fun. This is mostly because of how clever they use this formula and subvert it. And then Phineas and Ferb on the DS. This is a 3D platformer where you gather parts for a roller coaster, build it using some mini games, and then finally ride it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. They have a few clips from the show, which really helps this feel like the show. And first things first, it wants us to tap on Perry. Tap on Perry? Okay, that saves the game, I guess. Perry either has a gadget, or he's magic. Looks like you got the hang of it. It's only taken 5 years to get the hang of tapping the screen with a stylus, but it's all been worth it. Now we head out the gate and meet with Isabella. She asks, "What you doing?" And then we tell her, "Yeah, we're just collecting parts and then we're going to, take over the world." And then we leave her and she probably goes off and builds a bunker. But how do we get parts? Why we rummage through the piles of trash on the street? Because why not? Because in this game, everyone seems to have either spilled or purposely placed their garbage there. Well, it works in our favor because these piles can have computer chips, broken engines, and the remains of some sort of earth-destroying robot. Yeah, of course that's real. And to actually gather the trash, you have to trace the shape on the screen. And oh no, a broken gate is in the way of your precious trash. Okay, so you switch to Ferb, and then you weld it back together in a minigame. Yeah, you can probably tell that this game loves the touchscreen. And that I'm a failure. Just like my doctor said when I was born. So instead, I have to tap on the nails the necessary amount of times. Much easier. And then boom, a ladder. Throughout this game, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you need both brothers to do. Kinda sounds familiar. Nah. And oh no, why does Phineas look so weird going up the ladder? Okay, just go across this gap on this rope, and oh no, Candace alert. And because of said Candace alert, we have to go through a maze like Pac-Man. Get the bolts, hide in the bushes, and probably dispose of some evidence. Now that we've got everything, we just have to put together the engine in a similar minigame to Skyward Sword's Boss Key mechanic. And put this thing in the guy's mouth. It's very tasty! And then you put the missing track piece together by putting together a puzzle. But no, you can't turn it with like a button. You have to put it on this thing, and then it turns it for you. What? I totally wish they had like the D-pad to move the puzzle pieces around, and then you could turn it with the touchscreen, because that'd be more convenient than just putting it on a spinny thing. And finally, you get to ride the roller coaster. To win, you have to collect enough rainbow stars, jump, use the window wipers, choose which direction you want to go, and use the turbo. Whoa! I'm in space! That's actually a fun little reference to the show. It continues, but I don't have much interest in seeing the rest of the levels. They're based on episodes that I don't really care about. And yeah, while this game isn't the best, it's really fun exploring Danville searching for scraps. And it's just fun to see the characters. But yeah, I feel like I have to see the sequel. The original had some untapped potential, and I feel like the second one could really bring that out. The level it starts with is a prequel to The Beak, I'm assuming, which is quite interesting. But is the game interesting? I mean, it's definitely a sequel to the last game. It has minigames and platforming, but I gotta say, the platforming is actually much more fun. And there's less minigames. That is a big improvement. Okay, you gotta poke... Press the Y button? But I want to poke him! You mean you want me to use the stylus less? Are you insane? Yeah, this game has so much less touchscreen controls, which is fun, but I feel like the original was all about it, so it's a bit jarring to see so little of it in this one. And even better, there's tons of appearances from people in the show. one of the first characters you see is your dad, who has set up a gallery to store all of your collectibles, including the Perry in action figure. This was from a great episode. Candace gets a job at a toy shop, and Phineas and Ferb make the next biggest toy that Candace has to sell. She even has to wear a mascot costume of Perry. And then the Love Handle poster. Apparently, they topped the charts for a total of 12 minutes. Good for them. Isabella again. But more importantly, Buford, my man. He teaches you how to get candy back from spots where you just need to into the microphone. This was in the previous one, but that part had 50% less Buford. And in this game, you have some cool new abilities that you unlock through the game. These really keep this game much less stale. The Pac-Man game is back, and it's much better. Now you always go forward, the map is smaller, and you can even jump on trampolines and go to different parts of the map. Yeah, the first world is all about getting parts to get a high-tech skateboard. And then once you build it, you get to play in a racing game against some other characters. Once you beat that, which is pretty easy, you switch over to Perry. This is also new. The first game had no parts where you played as Perry, so this is great. And this part seems to be the episode where Doofenshmirtz tries to replace all the hot dogs with bratwursts? But I'm just assuming that because they're holding them. And once that's all over, the next day arrives. Phineas and Ferb are playing with the baseball glove things, and then they shoot Meep down again. How does this keep happening? But hey, that's pretty awesome. Meep has always been one of my favorite characters. But apparently the main portion of this has nothing to do with that. At one point you even go into a video game from that one episode with the best song in the entire series, which is fun, but it barely has anything to do with Meep. I guess the last level is in Mitch's spaceship, but I don't know, I feel like they could have put this in space or something. And the face Mitch makes on the screens is just the best. But honestly, I actually like the mix of episodes. It gives this world much more variety than the previous one, which only had a car wash to shake it up, but it still felt the same as the rest. You also get a better jetpack here, which allows you to glide, and man, you even get a ray gun that allows you to move things around. This is where you get a better jetpack that allows you to glide, and a ray gun which allows you to move things around. That ray gun would be great for my laziness, but it still feels the same for the most part. That's my main problem with these two games. They just don't have much variety in the gameplay. But even worse, it doesn't make up for it with good controls or theming. Even if the second world had two of my favorite episodes. And yeah, I plan on playing more of this, but it's not super interesting to talk about going forward, so yeah. I give these games like about a 6, 7 out of 10. Okay, the device is stable. If all goes according to plan, I should be able to travel through space, time, dimensions, and even go to distant planets. As long as it's within 5 feet. I gotta work on that.